You don't wake up one day and suddenly become fearless.
You are carved into it, stripped, cornered, and forced to confront the quiet rot inside you that you've spent your entire life disguising as kindness, humility, or patience. The truth you refuse to admit is this: most of what you call good character is nothing more than fear wearing a polite mask, a rehearsed obedience designed to keep you acceptable, digestible, harmless, and therefore forgettable. I've watched people cling to this illusion until it suffocates them, whispering moral slogans while their ambitions slowly decay. They tell themselves they're doing the right thing, when in reality, they're simply too weak to do anything else. Understand this clearly, because I will not soften it for you. Confidence is not born from comfort. It is extracted from conflict. If you have not learned to endure psychological pressure without collapsing into self-doubt, then everything you believe about yourself is fragile, temporary, and easily replaced. Lesson 1. Nobody respects hesitation, not in the real world. Not in the silent hierarchies that govern human behavior. Hesitation signals uncertainty, and uncertainty invites domination. When you pause too long, over-explain, or seek permission instead of taking ground, you announce to everyone watching that you are not a threat. And once you are categorized as harmless, you are controlled without resistance. This is why the ruthless learn to decide quickly, not because they are always right, but because decisiveness itself creates gravity. It bends perception. It forces others to orbit around their certainty, even when that certainty is imperfect. Lesson 2. People are not fair. They are strategic. Every interaction is a subtle negotiation of value, dominance, and leverage. Those who smile at you are not necessarily allies. Those who oppose you are not necessarily enemies. Both are constantly calculating what they can gain or lose. If you walk into this world expecting honesty, you will be dismantled. You must learn to read beneath words, to observe behavior, to notice inconsistencies and the quiet shifts in tone and posture. Lesson 3. You crave approval far more than you admit. You dilute your voice, shape your actions, and hand over control of your identity to an audience that doesn't care about your growth, only your compliance. Ruthless confidence begins the moment you detach from this need. When you become comfortable with disapproval. When your sense of self is anchored internally, not outsourced to others' reactions. Lesson 4. Avoidance is a silent prison. You avoid conflict, risk, and discomfort, then wonder why your life never expands. The ruthless do not run from conflict. They study it. They engage with it strategically. Every confrontation is an opportunity to redefine boundaries and assert presence. Lesson 5. Morality without strength is submission dressed as virtue. True moral authority requires the ability to enforce boundaries, to say no without guilt, to walk away without explanation, and to protect your interests without apology. The world does not reward good intentions, it rewards outcomes. Lesson 6. Discipline is not something you do when you feel motivated. It is something you embody, regardless of how you feel. Consistency, not intensity, builds unshakable confidence. Every time you follow through despite resistance, you reinforce your authority over yourself. And that internal authority is the foundation of all real power. Lesson 7. Growth will make you feel alone at times, not because you are unworthy, but because real evolution creates distance. People will project their insecurities onto you. They will try to pull you back into old patterns. This is not a sign to retreat. It is proof you are moving forward. Loneliness in this context is not emptiness. It is space. Space to think clearly, to act independently, to build without interference. If you can endure this space without running back for validation, you will develop a self-sufficiency that cannot be shaken. None of this is meant to make you cruel or detached from humanity. It is meant to strip away the illusions that keep you small. Ruthless confidence is not about dominating others. It is about refusing to be dominated by your own weakness, your hesitation, and your desperate need for approval. It is about standing in a room full of uncertainty and not shrinking, not over-explaining, not apologizing for your presence. Power is not given, it is taken, quietly, consistently, without announcement. Once you internalize these lessons behaviorally, you will notice a shift. Not dramatic at first, but unmistakable. Your voice will steady, your decisions will sharpen, your tolerance for nonsense will drop, and people will begin to respond to you differently. Not because you demanded it, but because you changed the signals you project. The more you stop trying to control how others see you, the more control you actually gain. You are no longer reacting, you are acting. You are no longer negotiating your identity, you are defining it. And once that definition is solidified, it becomes very difficult to challenge. So if you are still waiting for permission to become this version of yourself, understand that permission will never come. The shift begins the moment you decide that your current limitations are no longer acceptable, that the cost of staying the same is far greater than the discomfort of change. Because in the end, confidence is not something you acquire, it is something you reveal by removing everything that was never truly you to begin with. Thank you for watching.